A faint rumble of thunder. I once truly believed we could have become a real family. A roar tore through the silence. A picture frame fell in the vibration, shattering to pieces. Another loud crash. Han Jingsu's foot slipped. Her body lost its balance, and she tumbled down the stairs. Her pupils dilated in fear. Perhaps it was Yuri, standing silently. His eyes were ice cold. The corner of his mouth curved into a barely perceptible arc. Even real friends and Sheng Lili. A man was panting heavily, sweat soaking his bangs. His cheeks were flushed with an unnatural heat. Mom, was I really asking for too much? Beneath his feet was the shattered group photo, the once happy smiles now broken into pieces. I've listened to you my whole life, never once defying you. Is it wrong to ask for a little something in return? He knelt on the ground, tightly holding the injured Jingsu in his arms. Maybe I'm not good enough, but I still don't understand, Mom. Why is he the one who has to suffer? I don't understand, Mom. Jingsu lay quietly, unconscious. Her face had scars. Her breathing was faint. The sky was clear. The clouds stretched out. Brother Songju and I had long become a part of each other's lives. Warm sunlight streamed into the room. Jingsu was lying on the bed, wearing headphones and humming a song softly. A voice came from outside the door. Jingsu, Songju is here. The girl's body trembled slightly. She shot her head up. Songju peeked his head through the crack in the door. Jingsu, I'm coming in. He walked into the room, looking around with a slight smile. Jingsu tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, sitting peacefully at her desk. A soft glow seemed to emanate from her. She slowly turned her head, her eyes crinkling. Oh, brother. Songju's smile froze on his face. What kind of act is this? He crossed his arms. Since when did you start reading so quietly? Jingsu smiled faintly. What's wrong? Reading has always been my hobby. Songju's lips curved up. Yes, that's so. That's strange. I've known you for 18 years. How come I never noticed? Jingsu glanced at him, her cheeks flushing slightly. There's a lot you don't know. She quickly turned her head away, hiding her face with the book. That was a lie. The curtains fluttered gently. Sunlight filled the desk. Songju's gaze became thoughtful. He sighed softly. All right, we'll just say it's like that. Jingsu puffed out her cheeks. Stop teasing me. But to be honest, there was nothing he didn't know. Songju's hand rested on the back of her chair. So, are you done with your performance? It's not a performance. Perhaps he knows me better than I know myself. Jingsu's eyes suddenly lit up. Oh, right. I have something to show you. Songju was a little curious. What is it? She reached behind her, seeming to grab something. Jingsu stood up, facing him. She suddenly unfurled a painting. Tada. On the painting was a smiling portrait of a man. Songju's expression froze. He stared at her as he sat down, carefully examining the painting. Wait a minute, did you paint this? Jingsu leaned in proudly. That's right. I got an A+ on my art homework, all thanks to you. Songju studied the painting. Wow, this is amazing. He looked at Jing-Su. It seems artistic talent really is hereditary. Jingsu's lips curved. You sound just like my dad when you say that. She gave a gentle smile. But compared to my mom, I'm still a long way off. A pair of gentle eyes slowly closed. The woman on the hospital bed lay peacefully, her hands folded. A pair of hands pulled the white sheet over her. My mother was a famous painter. She passed away when I was very young. They called it eye cancer, a disease where cancer cells spread in the eyes. The hospital steps were long. Little Jingsu sat there alone, crying. Songju stood not far away, watching her. Tears blurred his vision. When I was grieving, Brother Songju came to my side. He placed a hand on her shoulder, offering silent comfort. The two small figures leaned on each other. Many years later, a photo of Songju's father hung in the memorial hall. His father passed away. The man in the photo frame had a gentle smile. Songju knelt on the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Jingsu stayed by his side, gently patting his back. This time I was by his side. Jingsu held him, letting their tears mingle. In our most difficult moments, we were always there for each other. Songju looked at the painting, then back at Jingsu. You're planning to study art, right? Jingsu lowered her eyes. Meichung, but I haven't decided what I want to do specifically. She gently caressed the painting that I like creating, but being a curator seems interesting too. Jingsu suddenly fell backward, collapsing onto the bed. Huh. Songju looked astonished. She lay on her back. I'm so envious of you. Your future is all planned out. Unlike me, who still has to worry about these things. A sly glint appeared in Jingsu's eyes. Maybe I should use my connections too. She kicked her legs around. When you take over the company in the future, you have to hire me. Songju laughed and sighed out, of course. I'd be happy to have you work for me for the rest of your life. Jingsu immediately shot up Dong. On second thought, forget it. Songju leaned close to her. Too late. A knock sounded. Her father peeked his head from behind the door. Jingsu, do you have a moment to talk? Both of them were a little surprised. On the table were a teapot and fruit. Jingsu sat across from her father. What is it, Dad? Her father scratched his face, a bit embarrassed. His cheeks flushed red. Well, you know, I've been seeing Ms. Miare. We're thinking of getting remarried soon. Jingsu listened quietly, her lips forcing a slight curve. She shot to her feet. Remarry. Her father quickly explained, but don't worry. I promise I'll never let you feel neglected. Miara has said she wants to take care of you like her own daughter. It might be a little strange at first, but I think starting a new family is a good thing. I really hope you can try to accept it. Dad, Jingsu excitedly grabbed his hand. I'm fine. Really, you don't have to worry about me. Jingsu forced a smile, but I think it's a good thing that you're marrying Ms. Miare. Her father was a bit incredulous. You really think so? Jingsu nodded forcefully. Honestly, I'm actually relieved. Ms. Miare is a famous painter, just like Mom. She'll definitely be a great help to my future. Her father's shoulders relaxed completely, his eyes welling up slightly. She revealed a brilliant smile. For now, there's no need to mention that she was once Mom's friend. The woman in the painting held a bouquet, her smile gentle. Her father was completely relieved. It's so good that you can accept this. Jingsu smiled playfully. Did you think I was going to lie on the floor and throw a tantrum? A door opened a crack. Songju peeked out, looking thoughtful. 3 months later, the wedding hall was full of guests. The MC's voice echoed. Thank you all for coming today to celebrate our wedding. Her father and Ms. Miare stood together, raising their champagne glasses. Today is for sharing our gratitude. We hope everyone has a wonderful time. Jingsu sat alone at a table, her hands folded in her lap. In front of her was a large bouquet of flowers. Whispers came from all around. The guests' gazes occasionally landed on her, and no wonder they say she's as famous a painter as her mother. The people who came are all such incredible figures. She noticed a girl. Who is that girl? A girl in a red dress walked toward the hallway. Jingsu stood up and followed her. Jingsu spoke. Hello. The girl slowly turned around, her gaze sharp. Jingsu looked at her. That you're Ms. Miare's daughter, right? Is your name Yuri? Jingsu extended her hand, a warm smile on her face. I'm Han Jingsu. It's nice to meet you. Yuri just stared at her coldly, her arms crossed. She shoved Jingsu abruptly. Get out of the way. Jingsu stumbled, a look of astonishment on her face. She felt a little confused. Does she just want to keep her distance? Yuri strode forward. Jingsu jogged to catch up. The sister I've always wanted. We can share clothes and talk about boyfriends. It'll be fun. Yuri's expression grew darker. Why is she still following me? Yuri suddenly stopped and turned around. Sorry. Her face was very close, but I'm not interested in being friends with you. I don't want to get involved in any of the adult troubles. Can you stay away from me? Jingsu's expression fell, but we're family now, and we'll be going to the same school. Yuri's anger grew. That's none of my business. Jingsu grabbed Yuri's wrist. Let go of me. Yuri violently shook her hand off. Jingsu's foot slipped. Oh, she fell backward. A flash of panic crossed Yuri's eyes as well. Hey, Yuri shouted. Jingsu tumbled down the stairs. Jingsu's hands flailed in the air, trying to grab something. A blond man rushed over and caught Jingsu. He held Jingsu in his arms and looked up. What are you two doing? Jingsu gasped for air, her chest heaving. The blond man looked at her expressionlessly. Get down. You're heavy. Jingsu scrambled out of his arms. Sorry. The blond man walked toward Yuri. Hey, Yuri. He looked at her with cold eyes. Oh, now you're pushing people down the stairs. I know you have a bad temper, but this is ridiculous. Yuri retorted excitedly. I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. Tewa scratched his face, unconcerned. Oh, really? He gave a cold smile. That I suppose you'd call an accident after you've killed someone, too. Yuri's face turned beet red. She sniffled and turned to run away. Jingsu stood to the side, nervously watching it all. She spoke cautiously. You're Han Tewa, my brother, right? Ms. Miare's son. I'm Han Jingsu. It's nice to meet you. Tewa turned around and looked at her quietly. His gaze was scrutinizing. That I see why Yuri doesn't like you. Jingsu's body stiffened slightly. Someone like you doesn't fit in our family. Jingsu was a little confused. Someone like me? She gave an awkward laugh. Tewa turned to leave. That I'm going. Jingsu quickly called out, wait. A sketchbook fell from his person landing right at Jingsu's feet. Jingsu bent down to pick up the sketchbook. Jingsu held the sketchbook. Isn't this yours? Taewa's body froze. Wow. Did you draw this? Taewa rushed over, trying to snatch the sketchbook back. Give it to me. Jingsu held up the sketchbook. This is really good. Even for a sketch, your technique is outstanding. Taewa's face instantly flushed red. Give it back. Taewa snatched the sketchbook. I like art too. Brother, who's your favorite painter? Picasso, Monet, or Van Gogh? Jingsu followed him excitedly. I like Egon Schiele. If you have time, we could go to an exhibition together. Taewa suddenly stopped in his tracks. A voice came from behind. Jingsu. Jingsu and Taewa turned around at the same time. Songju walked over with a smile. Sorry I'm late. Taewa's brow furrowed. Cha Songju, the student council president. Jingsu's eyes instantly turned to stars. Brother Songju. She ran to Songju's side. I almost thought you weren't coming. Your mom said you couldn't make it today. Songju said with a smile, but I finished early. Jingsu pulled his hand. Want to say hi to my dad? There's a lot of good food here. Songju patted her head dotingly. All right, but let's wait a bit. Taewa watched them quietly. Songju was playing with Jingsu as if teasing a puppy. Taewa's gaze darkened. It seems life at home won't be quiet anymore. Jingsu, do you want to come out and talk? Jingsu was a little puzzled. Talk about what? Songju stammered a bit. Just some things. Songju's cheeks were slightly red. I got something for you. Jingsu tilted her head, a little confused. For me? In the park at dusk, the two sat side by side on a bench. Didn't you say you missed the wedding because of the student council? Songju sighed. Yeah, they called a last-minute meeting. Jingsu remarked, it must not be easy getting into a prestigious school like that. Even the student council is so intense. Songju suddenly turned to her. You're transferring soon. You'd better be prepared. Jingsu pushed his hand away. Don't scare me. She gave a sly smile. But I was looking forward to seeing the famous student council president in action. I heard you act like a real gentleman at school. Is that true? Songju immediately struck a cool pose, radiating light. Haven't I always been a gentleman? Jingsu was expressionless. Disgusting. Songju's smile froze. Disgusting. He quickly recovered. Anyway, are you really okay? With moving into her house and all. Jingsu's body stiffened. She sat in silence. She turned her head, revealing a smile. Why wouldn't I be okay? The place is huge, and it's close to your house. I actually quite like it. She even took me to a salon and a department store to get styled. Songju clenched his jaw. But you're selling the house you lived in with your mother. His voice held a hint of shock. A gentle breeze blew past. Jingsu's gaze was distant. She lowered her head listlessly and Machem. Yeah, it's a little sad, but it can't be helped. I still have her beach house. I'm just glad Dad has someone new in his life. Do you remember the promise we made when we were kids? A promise? We said that when we grew up, we'd study abroad together. You'd study business, and I'd study art. Little fingers made a pinky promise. After Mom died, I thought I wouldn't be able to keep that promise. I couldn't imagine leaving Dad all alone. Little Jingsu hid behind the door, watching her father's sad back. Jingsu suddenly hugged Songju tightly. Songju was startled, his cheeks flushing red. But now he has a new family, so I'm asking you to go study abroad with me, without any hesitation. Songju gently hugged her back. Don't you think it would be weird for the two of us to be studying together in a foreign country? Jingsu looked blank, not knowing where to even begin to retort. Songju gently patted the shopping bag beside him. He cleared his throat. Hey, take this. Jingsu took it curiously. What is it? She opened the box, her eyes widening instantly. This brand is super expensive. She held the necklace with trembling hands. This is too much. Songju cleared his throat. I told myself it was to celebrate you having a new family, a new beginning. But that was just an excuse. Jingsu looked up in surprise. Her hands, resting on her lap, tightened unconsciously. I remember that promise too. Her heart was pounding in her chest. But if we really go, I don't want our relationship to stay the same as it is now. Jingsu's heart began to race as well. Brother Songju. His gaze grew serious. His cheeks felt slightly hot. In the twilight glow, he gazed at her. Jingsu. I like you. Han Jingsu's cheeks flushed, her heart skipping a beat. Her hands tightened at her sides, clutching a small box. Can I tell him too? That I like him too. He was my first love, from long ago, before I even understood the meaning of love. But this was happening too fast. So fast that she didn't know what to do. Not yet ready to say it out loud. Songju reached out and gently patted Han Jingsu's head. I don't need your answer right now. We've been friends for years. I know this might be confusing for you. Take your time, he said gently. Songju pulled his hand back, his eyes full of certainty that I can wait. Han Jingsu lowered her head. But that's not how I feel right now. Not far away, Yuri's figure appeared behind a tree. She stared at the two on the bench. An unreadable smile played on Yuri's face. A moving truck was parked outside the new house. This was the start of new life. 3 people stood at the door. The lady of the house, Miare, and her children, Taewa and Yuri. Come in, Jingsu. Han Jingsu and her father walked forward. Han Jingsu had a docile smile on her face. I'll try not to be a bother, Ms. Miare. Miare's smile froze. The corner of her mouth twitched uncontrollably. Ms. Miare, wow. Han Jingsu walked into the spacious living room. Her father's voice was full of admiration. See? I told you Ms. Miare's house was amazing, didn't I? Dad. This house is really big. Her gaze suddenly stopped. Oh, the walls were covered with paintings, everyone a landscape. Miare approached from behind, placing her hands on Han Jingsu's shoulders. Are these all your paintings, Ms. Miare? Yes. Do you like them? Han Jingsu felt a bit of pressure. Yes. These paintings are excellent, but they don't feel like they were done by her. Han Jingsu's gaze slowly moved. It stopped on one painting, one depicting a sunset and the sea. Han Jingsu turned around, her hands clasped together. This one is amazing. I think it's my favorite. Miare smiled. Did I ask that so? I remember being in a really good mood when I painted that one. Han Taewa sighed helplessly. Han Jingsu's fingers gently caressed the frame. The style is so gentle. You can feel that the person who painted it must be very kind. Taewa's cheeks flushed slightly. He looked away, a little embarrassed, a hint of sweetness blooming in his heart. The sun was just right, the view outside the window serene. All right, everyone, please enjoy. The dining table was already laden with a sumptuous feast. Miare opened her arms, her face beaming. Her father exclaimed, I had no idea you were such a good cook. Miare replied elegantly, well, it's been a while since I've cooked, but I thought I should make an effort. Her gaze swept by casually. After all, it's our first meal as a family. Miare suddenly turned to Han Jingsu. Jingsu. Perhaps it's time you started calling me Mom. I truly hope we can become closer. Oh. Han Jingsu froze. She gripped her spoon, her knuckles turning white. I only have one mother in my heart. I'll try. Miare's eyes instantly sharpened, then melted into a brilliant smile. Good. Let's work on it together. Cutlery was slammed onto the table. Han Jingsu jumped. Mom, are you serious? Yuri's voice was sharp and sarcastic. What is this, a sitcom? This is so embarrassing. Miare snapped. Han Yuri, watch your tone. Why yes, I'm sorry. I'm so nauseous I can't eat. Her father tried to soothe the situation. Honey, it's okay. Yuri is probably just going through a rebellious phase. You should have seen how difficult Jingsu was at that age. Dad, are you serious? Taewa just smiled, as if he were an outsider. He ate quietly, bite by bite. The post-dinner tranquility was broken. Yuri peeked through the crack of the door into Han Jingsu's room. A light green box sat quietly on the desk. Yuri tiptoed silently into the room. And here I thought she was the quiet type. I can't believe she's so close to Senior Songju. Yuri picked up the box and opened it. She picked up the necklace. Frankly, it looks better on me. Yuri smiled at her reflection in the mirror. Maybe I should just ask her for it. She reached to unfasten the necklace, but used too much force. The clasp snapped. The pendant fell. A knock suddenly sounded. Yuri, are you in there? It was Han Jingsu's voice. Ms. Miare said to come down for some fruit. The door was pushed open. Han Jingsu's gaze froze. Oh. Yuri spun around in a panic, the shattered pieces of the necklace at her feet. She was still holding the broken chain. Oh. It's not what you think. Miare's voice came from downstairs. Kids, I said come down and eat. Her father said with a laugh. They're probably just chatting. Never mind. I'll go get them myself. Miare stood up and started up the stairs. Miare reached the top of the stairs. A cry of pain came from inside the room. Hey, ow. Yuri's tearful voice rang out. Let go of me. Han Jingsu's voice was firm. Apologize first. Miare's face instantly darkened. Her eyes filled with suppressed rage. She threw the door open. I said, come down and eat. What on earth is going on up here? Miare's pupils contracted in shock. The scene before her was astonishing. Han Jingsu was gripping Yuri tightly. What are you two doing? Time rewound to 5 minutes earlier. Han Jingsu's question broke the silence. What do you think you're doing? Han Jingsu's eyes sharpened. Who gave you permission to touch my things? Yuri's fingers fidgeted. I was just looking. What's the problem? She tossed the broken necklace down dismissively. It's just a necklace. What's the big deal? She shrugged nonchalantly. There, I'll tell Mom it broke and have her replace it for you. A hand grabbed Yuri's sleeve. The movement was light, yet unyielding. Apologize. Han Jingsu's voice was low. Yuri turned her head, her face a mask of astonishment. Han Jingsu pulled her closer abruptly. I said, apologize. For touching it without permission. For acting like nothing happened. For lying. Apologize now. Are you crazy? Yuri shoved her forcefully. Han Jingsu fell to the ground with a thud. Yuri stood over her, her chest heaving slightly. So the good girl act in front of the adults was all fake. She started to laugh. This is interesting. Is this how you suck up to senior song jutsu? Han Jingsu's body trembled slightly. Yuri, Han Jingsu's voice was calm. She slowly looked up. Are you finished? Back to the present. Miare's gaze turned icy weight. Her eyes fell on Han Jingsu's hand, gripping Yuri tightly. What are you two doing? Are you two fighting? Yuri suddenly shrieked. Da-da. She slapped Han Jingsu's hand away. Fine. I'm sorry, okay? I won't touch your precious thing again. I won't even look at it. Are you happy now? That necklace wasn't anything special anyway. Miare stepped forward, shielding Yuri behind her. Jingsu, we're family now, aren't we? Isn't it normal for sisters to borrow things from each other? I don't know what exactly happened, but Han Jingsu tried to explain. Ms. Miare, that's not. Ms. Miare. Miare's smile turned cold. If calling me mom is so difficult, if you really thought of us as family, you'd at least call me Miare. Han Jingsu's body froze. Her gaze fell on a picture frame. I really was hoping you'd be better. Miare's voice was full of disappointment. Jingsu, perhaps you're not ready to be a part of this family. She took Yuri's hand. Let's go, Yuri. Yuri followed her mother, a triumphant smirk on her lips. The door slammed shut. Han Jingsu leaned against the door, holding back tears. Only the sound of suppressed sobs. In the hallway, only the retreating figures of Miare and Yuri remained. Yuri linked her arm intimately with her mother's. I really didn't expect you to take my side, Mom. Miare looked back, her eyes cold and sinister. Yuri, no matter what happens, you must never let Han Jingsu get the upper hand. She shook off Yuri's hand. Yuri whined. Miare walked on alone, her footsteps echoing in the empty hallway. She descended the stairs, her figure disappearing into the darkness. Bright sunlight shone on the university campus. A young Miare walked with her friends. The air was filled with the scent of youth. I heard Jeannie won first place in the art exhibition again, a friend's voice said. Miare's steps faltered. She's so amazing. How does she win every competition? People call her a genius. I saw the other entries, and none of them could compare to hers. She'll keep it down. Miare entered too. Sorry, Miare. I didn't mean it like that. The friend quickly apologized. Miare smiled. It's okay. She really is excellent. That's a fact. A friend pointed ahead. She's over there. In the sunlight, Jean stood with a young man. Their figures were so harmonious. I asked that her boyfriend. I heard he's a very successful architect. Seriously, Jean has everything. Amazing talent and a successful boyfriend. The friend's voice was full of envy. Can I have a life like that in my next life? Another friend joked, then you'd better start accumulating good karma now. Jean noticed them. She smiled and waved. Hey, Miare. Miare looked up at the perfect couple. The sunlight was blinding. Something in her eyes was quietly changing. My whole life, I've been losing to her. Miare walked down the stairs, her steps firm, filled with long-suppressed resentment. Her father came to meet her. That was loud just now. Is everything okay? Miare's face wore a look of appropriate concern. I think Jingsu was angry because Yuri was in her room. Yuri felt wronged and was just trying to make up with her. That doesn't sound like something Jingsu would do. I'll go talk to her. Her father started to get up. Miare placed a hand on his don't go. Don't make their relationship worse. She'll come around. Her father's gaze softened. Miare. Thank you for being so good to Jingsu. Oh, don't be silly. Miare gave a gentle smile. She's my daughter now, too. But now, everything Jean had is mine. Her money, her family, everything. I won. Jeannie. The early morning sun streamed down. Birds chirped crisply. A quiet residence. Miare clapped her hands happily. Jing-Soo, you look so pretty in your new school uniform. Han Jing-Soo's cheeks flushed. She asked, a little embarrassed, really. She looked down and said softly, "Thank you, Ms. Miare." The young girl's figure was graceful. The lines of the pleated skirt were clean and sharp. She seemed to be glowing. The smile on Miare's face vanished instantly. A cold sneer touched her lips. The temperature in the air seemed to drop. Miare put an arm around Yuri's shoulder. Yuri, help her out at school. Yuri turned her head away in annoyance. Why should I? Han Jing-Soo smiled. I'm heading out. The three of them walked down the steps, their shadows stretching long. Han Jing-Soo's steps were a little heavy. A thought she couldn't shake lingered in her mind. Ms. Miare's expression yesterday. That cold, scrutinizing gaze. Han Jing-Soo sighed softly. Was she that upset just because I called her Ms. Miare? I should be more careful from now on. She opened the door. A black sedan was parked at the entrance. The car was shiny and black, so new it was a little dazzling. Whose car is that? Han Jing-Soo was a little puzzled. The car window slowly rolled down. A boy poked his head out. It was Song-Ju. He smiled and waved. Hey, newbie. Han Jing-Soo's eyes lit up. Brother Song-Ju. She ran quickly to the car. What are you doing here? Song-Ju's smile was gentle. Escorting new students is the job of the student council president. Yuri's face was grim. She snorted. Since when was that a rule? Song-Ju urged, get in. We'll be late otherwise. Han Jing-Soo opened the car door. Oh, okay. She bent down and got into the car. Inside the car, the two chatted happily. Outside the car, Yuri's eyes turned cold and sharp. The car drove off. Yuri stood by the road. He's such a hypocrite. Yuri frowned. What is she, a princess? The school is right next door, and she still needs a ride. Han Tae-hwa looked at the departing car. Our senior offered. What's the big deal? Han Tae-hwa scratched his head. Why are you always so petty? Yuri was so angry her cheeks turned red. What did I do? Yuri couldn't believe it. I'm your real sister, and you're taking her side? Don't tell me you actually like her. Han Tae-hwa pointed a finger at Yuri. It's not that I like Jing-Soo. He curled his finger and flicked Yuri's forehead lightly. A soft thud. Yuri squeezed her eyes, shut in pain. He looked at his sister, a teasing smile on his lips. I just plain don't like you. His voice grew heavy. You're exactly like Mom. Yuri's expression froze. The air seemed to congeal. Shame and anger flooded her face. Yuri's eyes instantly turned red. I'm leaving, Han Tae-hwa said, turning to walk away. Brother, she called out into the wind. Han Tae-hwa waved without looking back. See you at school. Don't just stand there. Yuri's indignant shout came from behind. Brother. Yuri stood rooted to the spot, her chest heaving violently. The car drove smoothly. Song-Ju broke the silence. Are you getting along with your new family? He put his hands behind his head, his posture relaxed. Are you starting to get used to it? Han Jing-Soo replied in a low voice. MHM. We're still slowly adjusting. Her gaze fell on the scenery outside, as if talking to herself. Song-Ju's gaze grew serious. He looked at her quietly, as if he could see through all her insecurities. He suddenly leaned. Is someone bullying you? Is it that girl from before? Han Jing-Soo quickly waved her hands, her cheeks a little hot, and oh no. It's not like that. Song-Ju gave a gentle smile, like a warm spring sun. If anyone bullies you, you have to tell me right away. I'll take care of it for you. No questions asked. By the way, his gaze fell on the necklace around her neck that you're wearing it. Han Jing-Soo was a little flustered. Song-Ju reached over. Why are you hiding it? Let me see. Han Jing-Soo quickly stopped him. Wait. His hand stopped in midair, his movement frozen. It was an old necklace. Its luster was dull, and the pendant was a bit worn. Song-Ju frowned. What happened? Han Jing-Soo clutched the necklace. Yesterday, I was too excited when I put it on and accidentally broke it. She forced an apologetic smile. I'm really sorry. Song-Ju couldn't help but laugh. You don't have to apologize. If it's broken, why are you still wearing it? You could have just left it at home. Han Jing-Soo said in a low voice, I know, but I haven't even wore it once. I just don't feel right leaving it at home alone. She clutched the necklace on her chest. The tires screeched against the ground. Song-Ju looked at her in silence. The driver broke the quiet. Young master, we've arrived. The school gate was bustling with people. Students in the same uniform were full of energy. Han Jing-Soo looked out the window. The new school building came into view. This is my new school. Her heart beat a little faster, a little nervous. Song-Ju turned around. Want to hold my hand? Han Jing-Soo was stunned. He smiled and explained, you always need to hold on to something when you're nervous. Song-Ju held out his hand, palm open, waiting quietly. Han Jing-Soo's cheeks flushed. She told herself, it's okay. Brother Songju is here with me. The two of them got out of the car together. She took a step, planting her feet on solid ground. I can do this. Whispers came from all around. The students' gazes were cast upon them, filled with curiosity and scrutiny. Han Jingsu's steps became firmer. One by one. Let's go, Jingsu. They walked side by side like a warm scene. Han Jingsu clenched her other hand, cheering herself on. You can do it. Han Jingsu stood at the podium and bowed slightly. Hello, everyone. I'm Han Jingsu. It's a pleasure to be here. Warm applause erupted from below. The students were all very welcoming. Only Yuri rested her chin on her hand, her gaze cold. A girl with short hair leaned over, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Did you come with Senior Songju this morning? The girls around them instantly crowded in, their faces excited. Han Jingsu was a little overwhelmed. Really? Are you too close? Another girl added, he's the heir to global entertainment, you know. Han Jingsu quickly explained, no, it's not like that. It's just that our parents have known each other for a long time. The girl's hand slammed on the desk. Wow, that necklace. She pointed at Han Jingsu's neck. Isn't this one super expensive? Can I see it? Han Jingsu subconsciously covered her necklace. Yuri's voice drifted over, laced with sarcasm. It looks a little fake, doesn't it? She rested her cheek on one hand. If you look closely, it's actually quite cheap. And that pendant, it looks like it's about to fall off. Han Jingsu was about to retort. That's because Yuri cut in first. I want to take a look yesterday, and she acted like I couldn't even touch it. Yuri twirled a strand of her hair, a malicious smile on her face. Maybe she was afraid I'd find out it was fake. Muffled discussions came from the crowd. Did Yuri's mom marry her dad? The surrounding chatter grew louder. No wonder they don't get along. Han Jingsu lowered her head, listening to the whispers. Her hands trembled slightly under the desk. S.O. Is the necklace really fake? Yuri's gaze was fixed on her. If it's real, then show us the certificate of authenticity. Han Jingsu quickly explained, who brings that to school? Yuri shot to her feet and walked over to Han Jingsu. Han Jingsu was at a loss for words. Yuri smiled triumphantly. S.O. You don't have it, right? Sounds like an excuse. She leaned down. Are you serious? A voice suddenly cut in. Why does she have to prove anything? Both Yuri and Han Jingsu were stunned. Songju was at the classroom door. I gave her that necklace. He crossed his arms, his posture relaxed. I asked that proof enough. His smile was warm and firm. Yuri was a little flustered. Senior Songju. Songju walked straight to Han Jingsu. Songju's gaze turned icy. He glanced at Yuri. Yuri subconsciously took a step back. Songju leaned against Han Jingsu's desk. Let's go, Jingsu. We should get going. Han Jingsu looked blank. What? Where are we going? Her wrist was grabbed by him. Brother. Han Jingsu was pulled into a run by him. Yuri shouted from behind, are you just leaving like that? Songju looked back with a smile. Showing a transfer student around campus is also the student council president's duty. Han Jingsu's cheeks flushed slightly, her heart skipping a beat. In front of a vending machine, he inserted a coin. A can of soda rolled out. He pulled the tab, the fizz hissing. He handed the soda to Jingsu here. Han Jingsu took it. Thanks. Songju sat down beside her. What's her problem? Why is she treating you like that? Han Jingsu shook her head. I don't think she means it. We haven't been living together for long. It'll take time for both of us to adjust. Songju sighed softly. Jingsu, what did I tell you before? If anyone bullies you, you have to tell me. I'll take care of it for you. He reached out and pinched Han Jingsu's cheeks, pulling them outwards. Did you hear me? Don't you ever forget. Han Jingsu answered indistinctly. Okay. He finally let go. They both started laughing. I can't wait to get out of here and study abroad. Songju looked at her and said softly, by then, maybe I'll have your answer. The air instantly fell silent. Han Jingsu's heart leaped. She covered her face, her cheeks burning hot. You said I could take my time. You said you would wait. His words echoed in her ears. I took you seriously. Songju leaned closer. I'm still waiting. At this rate, I'll be a pile of bones. Han Jingsu was exasperated. Brother. Songju laughed, a little flustered. Okay. I was just kidding. The laughter in his eyes was gentle and doting. I'm sorry. They started to playfully fight, their laughter echoing on the bench. Yuri stood by the classroom window, watching everything below, her eyes dark. The students were whispering, that transfer student is really close to senior Songju. I heard he gave her the necklace too. So it was jealousy. That's why Yuri said the necklace was fake. She's always been like that. Yuri's feet stomped heavily on the floor. She walked away angrily. Yesterday, he made me apologize to that thief, and today he humiliated me in front of everyone. I will never forgive him. Yuri's eyes burned with anger. She walked past the bulletin board. No matter what, I'm going to make him regret this. Then she returned to the bulletin board. Her gaze stopped. She seemed to have found something. It was a student council recruitment poster. Her hand rested on the poster. If I can join the student council, I can get closer to senior Songju than Han Jing-soo. A cold smile formed on Yuri's lips. A plan was taking shape in her mind. The afternoon sun poured down. The school building stood quietly as usual. A figure approached from the distance. The hem of Han Jing-soo's uniform skirt swayed gently. Her eyes suddenly lit up. She saw that familiar back. Han Tawa was walking alone ahead, his figure a little lonely. Han Jing-soo took a deep breath. Brother. Han Tawa turned at the sound, a flicker of suppression in his eyes. Han Jing-soo ran toward him with an irrepressible smile. She caught up to him, her hair flying. Where are you going? Let's walk together. Han Jing-soo put her hands behind her back. Yuri has her student council interview today, so she can't join us. Han Tawa's gaze shifted to her. I heard you and Yuri had a fight today. His tone was flat, as if stating a fact. I'm pretty sure half the school knows by now. Han Jing-soo's pace slowed a half-dash step. It wasn't really a fight. It's just that she had a little misunderstanding. Her words were hesitant, as if she were choosing them carefully. You don't have to make excuses for her. Our family all knows she has a personality problem. Han Jing-soo's eyes widened slightly. How can you say that about your own sister? A coldness touched Han Taewa's lips. Even if she's my sister, a fact is a fact. The gentleness on his face faded. She's always been like that. If she's not the center of attention, she loses control. A long-buried image surfaced. A little him, holding a baby bird. She threw away my first pet, a baby chick, because I cared about it more than I cared about her. If I told Jing-soo this now, she'd definitely be scared. Han Taewa looked at her. So, if Yuri bullies you again, go tell your dad. His eyes were full of seriousness. If you don't fight back, she'll only get worse. The wind blew through his hair, carrying a hint of warmth. Han Jing-soo gave a playful salute. Thank you for worrying about me. Han Taewa turned his face away. I wasn't worried. Back home, Jang Seo called out, I'm home. The entryway was quiet. It seemed no one was home. I'll go upstairs then. Jang Seo waved goodbye. Okay, you get some rest. Something fell from her with a crisp clatter. She gasped and crouched down. It broke again. The real Han Tawa turned back, his eyebrows furrowed slightly. Are you going to get fixed again? You're almost out of allowance. Holding the broken necklace, she wondered, how much would the repair cost? Han Tawa crouched down beside her. That's the necklace Yuri broke yesterday, right? He held out his hand. Give the pendant and chain to me. Okay. Han Taewa's fingers gently brushed against her palm. He examined it closely. Let me see. It's not too bad. I can fix it. Really? Jang Seo's eyes lit up instantly, and she nearly pounced on him like a small animal. Back in the room, Han Taewa flipped a switch, and a light came on. Han Taewa took off his jacket. Why did you follow me? Jang Seo peeked out from behind the door. Because I've always wanted to see. Han Taewa pulled out a chair and sat down. Do as you please. Jang Seo's gaze was drawn to something. She stood quietly before a painting. The light of the setting sun filled the room. Appa, you paint too? Han Taewa's body instantly stiffened. Jang Seo pointed at the easel. This painting is of the canals in Venice, right? It feels so warm. The style of this painting is very similar to Aunt Myra's. Han Taewa's fingers trembled slightly. Did she teach you? Jang Seo looked at the easel. Even if she taught him, could he really paint so similarly? It feels like it was painted by the same person. Wait, this signature. A messy scrawl in the corner. A familiar scene in the frame. In the bottom right corner of the canvas, the signature, Myra. Jang Seo whipped her head around. Appa, this. Han Taewa shot up like a spring. Get out. He thrust the repaired necklace in her hand. Your necklace is fixed. Go quickly. Appa. Han Taewa shoved her out the door. His cheeks were flushed red, his breathing ragged. Jang Seo stood stunned outside the door, the warmth of his body still lingering in her palm. In the student council office, Yuri sat with her back straight. This is why I am applying for the student council. Songju took the application materials. Thank you. Please wait outside for a moment. We will notify you as soon as possible. Interviewer A said in a low voice, I think she's pretty good. Interviewer B added, yeah, she has good grades and leadership skills. Interviewer A turned to another boy. Songju, what do you think? Songju leaned back in his chair and sighed. If you guys think she's good, then she's good. The door slid open. Yuri stood nervously at the entrance. Songju looked at her. You're in. Starting tomorrow, you're a member of the student council. Yuri's face lit up with excitement. Really? Thank you. Songju straightened his hair. Now that you're in the student council, you need to act like it. Stop picking on other students for no reason. The joy on Yuri's face faded. About the incident with Jong Seo, I handled it poorly. I'm sorry. She anxiously wrung her fingers. I guess I was jealous. I crossed the line before I knew it. She bowed deeply. I didn't mean to insult the gift you gave her, but the words just came out. I was wrong. Songju's lips twitched, his expression a little stiff. Songju looked down at her. All right. Since you've admitted it, just don't do it again. Yuri looked up abruptly. I won't. Songju averted his gaze. You really know what to say. Yuri broke into a brilliant smile, as if all the sunlight was gathered on her. Songju turned and walked away. Student council meeting tomorrow. Yuri called out loudly behind him, yes, I'll definitely be there. Songju sat in his seat, laughing and joking with his friends. The atmosphere relaxed. Yuri peeked through the window on the door, her cheeks slightly flushed. Her heart skipped a beat. Warm dishes were served on the dining table. The lights were bright, but couldn't illuminate everyone's heart. Mira pulled out a chair and sat down. Your father will be home late tonight, so it's just us for dinner. She smiled at Jong Seo. Eat up, Jong Seo. Okay, Aunt Mira. Jong Seo's gaze shifted uneasily, landing on the bowl of steaming soup. Myra's gaze followed hers at Jong Seo. You haven't touched your soup. Jong Seo put down her spoon. I'm sorry, Aunt Mira. I can't eat clams. Myra's eyebrows furrowed slightly. Can't eat clams? Why? For what reason? Jong Seo said in a low voice, I don't know. My mom always told me not to eat them, so I never have. Myra's smile froze. A distant memory surfaced. In front of a boiling pot of soup, a friend asked in surprise, Jean, you can't eat shellfish? We only ordered this because Mira wanted it. Jean, he just smiled gently that it's okay. Really, as long as Mira likes it. I'm fine. The memory faded. A smile returned to Myra's lips. Just because you can't eat it doesn't mean all of us have to accommodate you, does it? She said, her hands folded, her smile gentle. The real family makes an effort for each other, she added. Sometimes that means eating things you're not used to. The atmosphere at the table was as cold as iron. Mira crossed her arms. If you don't drink this soup, I'll take it as you rejecting my goodwill. Drink it now. Jong Seo gripped the spoon tightly, her knuckles turning white. She scooped up a spoonful of soup and slowly brought it to her mouth. Her stomach churned. She suddenly covered her mouth. Oh, Myra's gaze instantly sharpened. Are you doing this on purpose? She slammed her hand on the table and stood up. How dare you feel nauseous from the soup I made? Jong Seo quickly explained, no, that's not it. I'm just not used to it, since I've never eaten clams before. Myra's face twisted with anger. Stand up. If you don't want to eat, then don't eat anything at all. She grabbed Jong Seo's arm. I'm sorry. Jong Seo was dragged by her. I'm really sorry. Aunt Mira, please. Jong Seo's eyes filled with tears. Please, Aunt Mira, you're the adult here. It's not his fault. It's not Jong Seo's fault. He just missed Jean He too much. A memory returned. The sound of a toilet flushing. The bathroom door came into view. Mira walked to the door. A friend's voice came through. Are you leaving already? Jean He answered, yeah, my boyfriend is here to pick me up. What a buzzkill. Jean He turned around. You guys carry on. Let me get the bill. Her friends felt bad. You don't have to do that. Besides, Mira barely ate anything she ordered. Mira stood alone in the hallway, lost in thought. Honestly, what's with Mira? She hangs out with you all day, but doesn't even know what you can eat. Her expression was complicated, lost in deep confusion. Jeannie smiled and said, it's not Myra's fault. If anything, I should have said something earlier. So don't be too hard on her, okay? That thought took root in Myra's mind. Yes, it's not my fault. Her hand suddenly tightened. Jong Seo collapsed on the floor, her eyes brimming with tears. Mom? Mom! That cry pierced Myra's heart like a thorn. She flinched. It's not my fault. A crisp slap echoed. The whole world went silent. Jong Seo's face was knocked to the side, a red mark quickly appearing. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. Ugh! Han Tae-hwa shot up from his seat. He yelled at Mira, Mom. Han Tae-hwa demanded, what are you doing? Myra's body swayed. She looked at her trembling hand. A thought seized her. Have I become a monster? Han Tae-hwa helped the faltering Jong Seo up. Jong Seo, are you okay? Go upstairs and lie down. Jong Seo leaned weakly against him. Appa. She suddenly clutched her neck, gasping for air. I can't breathe. Han Tae-hwa shouted in panic. Jong Seo. Red rashes were spreading across her neck, a shocking sight. Han Tae-hwa held her and turned to yell at Mira, Mom. Mira crossed her arms, her face impassive. She's allergic to clams. Why didn't she say so earlier? He lifted Jong Seo in his arms. Quick, we have to get her to the hospital. Jong Seo's consciousness began to fade. Aunt Mira. The hospital building stood tall in the night. In the hospital room, Mira stood by the bed, looking at the unconscious Jong Seo. This is all my fault. I didn't know Jong Seo couldn't eat clams. The father gently comforted her. How could this be your fault? The father's hand gently rested on Jong Seo. Jong Seo was just trying too hard to make a good impression on you. No, Jong Seo thought from her hospital bed, Dad. It's not like that. Mira dabbed her eyes with a handkerchief, her gaze shooting an icy glare toward the bed. As if burned, Jong Seo flinched. Mira put an arm around the father's shoulder. The doctor said she only needs to stay for 1 day. Don't worry. You go get some rest. Yuri will stay with her tonight. Mira leaned close to Yuri and whispered in her ear, keep Tae-hwa's mouth shut. Yuri listened quietly, her face expressionless. She nodded, a faint smile playing on her lips. Oh, she wanted to make sure he doesn't go tattling to Dad. My mother is truly terrifying. She turned to the father and said, Don't worry, Mr. Han. The father looked at her. I'm counting on you then, Yuri. The hospital room door closed. Yuri stood by the bed, looking at the sleeping Jong Seo. Serves you right. You should learn who you're picking a fight with. You don't even know what kind of person my mother is. On the nightstand, Yuri's phone vibrated. The screen lit up with a message. It was a message from Songju. Jong Seo. Are you asleep? Yuri picked up the phone, looking at the name on the screen with a playful smirk. Yuri crossed her arms, a triumphant smile on her face. Still texting Songju Sunbi this late. She tilted her head, a calculating glint in her eyes. Jong Seo lay in bed, her breathing shallow, a thin layer of sweat on her forehead. Yuri's hand reached for the desk, her target the phone. She picked up the phone. The screen lit up. It was a message from Songju. Have you eaten? Is Jong Seo asleep? A new message popped up. How did you break it so quickly? You're still a kid. Yuri's expression darkened. In another room, Songju tossed and turned, unable to sleep, hugging a pillow. His cheeks were slightly flushed. Is it okay to ask her again now? Songju's fingers flew across the screen, typing and deleting. His finger hovered over the send button. A moment's hesitation, then he pressed it. Yuri's body instantly stiffened. Her mind raced that he must be talking about that day. A memory surfaced, the two of them on a park bench. Yuri's eyes turned icy. This hypocritical woman. She's been playing innocent from the start. I've had enough. Her finger landed on the screen. I'm doing this for Songju Sunbi, she told herself. A triumphant smile appeared. He deserves someone better. A confirmation box popped up on the screen. Leave chatroom. Her finger moved toward the option. Without a hint of hesitation, she tapped it. The phone vibrated. Songju sat up abruptly, his eyes wide with incredible surprise. She replied. He almost jumped up, his heart pounding. He stared at the screen, reading the message over and over. He let out a long breath and fell back onto the bed. Maybe I pushed too hard. Lying on his side, his face buried in the pillow, a faint blush still on his cheeks. The phone lay quietly by the bed. On the screen was the last message. I'm sorry. I still can't. You're just an oppa to me. By the car door, a worried Songju asked, Is Jong Seo sick? Yuri nodded. Yes, it seems she ate something bad last night. Songju's tone was full of concern. It's serious? She almost never misses class unless it's absolutely necessary. Yuri flashed a bright smile. It's nothing serious. I was taking care of her all night. She changed the subject. By the way, Sunbae, can I catch a ride? Songju was a bit surprised. What? Yuri put her hands together. We're both in the student council now, aren't we? Her eyes sparkled. Before he could answer, Yuri had already slipped into the car, bursting into laughter. Thanks. The car door closed. She looked excited. This car is amazing. Songju sighed helplessly beside her. Han Tae-hwa stood where he was, watching the car drive away. Even Songju Sunbi has gotten tangled up with a woman like Yuri. He glanced over, a hint of disdain in his eyes. He turned his head, looking worriedly toward Jong Seo's bedroom. Lunchtime. The cafeteria was bustling with noise. The food on the trays was steaming. A friend looked at Songju across from him. Hey, Songju, what's with that look on your face? You've been out of it all morning. Why would Jong Seo get sick? Did she eat clams or something? Songju's brow furrowed. Could it be that I said something stupid yesterday and put too much pressure on her? The more he thought about it, the more uneasy he became. This is my fault. His pupils suddenly contracted. He shot up from his seat. That's it. His friend was startled by him. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Songju had already turned around. I'm leaving, he said, then turned and ran. His friend called out in confusion. Wait, where are you going? The only answer was Songju's retreating back. He rushed out of the cafeteria doors, running without hesitation in that direction. In the distance, the window of a two-story house was quietly open. A figure was running towards it at full speed. The doorbell rang, crisp and sudden. Songju stood outside the door and asked softly, "Is anyone home?" He tried pushing the door. It was unlocked. It swung open with a soft click. The living room was quiet, not a soul in sight. He changed into slippers and walked down the quiet hallway. Which one is Jong Seo's room? He looked through a half-open door. Sunlight spilled onto the floor. Han Tae-hwa was sitting by the bed, watching over the sleeping Han Jong Seo. Songju stopped in his tracks. Han Tae-hwa. He walked in, his voice laced with a hint of caution. That you're Tae-hwa from Class A, right? What are you doing here? Han Tae-hwa looked up, his gaze calm and steady. What do you think? I'm taking care of her. Songju's gaze was scrutinizing. You're taking care of her? I've heard a lot of rumors about you. Being a considerate caregiver isn't one of them. A slight smile touched Han Tae-hwa's lips. You think you know me so well? Besides, I don't need a trespasser to lecture me. Songju took a step back. I didn't trespass. The door was open. He felt something was off. A thought suddenly crossed his mind. In a way, does he like Jong Seo? But they're siblings. His gaze fell on Han Tae-hwa again, filled with a complex mix of emotions that I was just worried about her. So I came over. Han Jong Seo slept soundly in the bed, her breathing even. Songju scratched his head, his tone softening. Anyway, thanks for taking care of her. I didn't want her to be sick all alone. Han Tae-hwa looked at him. I'm not doing this for your approval. Songju moved closer to him. Tell her I came by. A silent standoff hung in the air. Han Tae-hwa smiled with a hint of provocation. Depends on my mood. Songju's fist quietly clenched. This guy is really getting on my nerves. The door was slammed shut. The girl in the bed stirred slightly, letting out a soft murmur. Jong Seo. Han Tae-hwa immediately leaned in. He called out softly, "Hey, are you awake?" Han Jong Seo slowly opened her eyes, her voice weak. Tae-hwa Appa. Han Jong Seo's gaze was still a bit hazy. I think I heard Songju Appa's voice. Han Tae-hwa's cheeks instantly flushed red, the blush spreading from his ears down to his neck. He reached out in a bit of fluster, gently pressing her back into the pillow. What are you talking about? You must have been dreaming. Jong Seo let out a soft sigh. He quickly turned his back to her, his fingertips unconsciously brushing his lips. His voice was soft. Go back to sleep. Mira pulled Jong Seo into a tight embrace, her voice full of affection. Oh, Jong Seo, my dear daughter. I can finally relax. Are you feeling better? Do you know how worried I was? Jong Seo's cheek was buried in her shoulder, feeling this sudden warmth. Her father's face broke into a genuine smile. Jong Seo gently pulled away from the hug. She said softly, "Thank you." The moment the words left her mouth, the warmth on Myra's face vanished instantly. An icy gaze was cast her way. A phone vibrated. The screen lit up, showing an incoming call. Yuri pointed to the phone. "Mom, your phone is ringing." Myra's body jolted. She stood up quickly, her tone laced with impatience. Ugh, I've been getting so many spam calls lately. Jong Seo also made an excuse. I'm going to get a glass of water. I'll be right back. At the water dispenser, water slowly filled the glass. She stood alone in the kitchen. I really don't know how to get along with Mira. Maybe she didn't mean it then. Or maybe she did. Why does she keep treating me like this? Mira suddenly appeared behind her. Her smile was twisted and contorted. Her hand rested on Jong Seo's shoulder, her fingertips pressing down slightly. If you don't want to make the atmosphere in this house tense, you'd better watch your attitude. Jong Seo trembled slightly. She turned around in terror, holding the water glass. Mira had reverted to her gentle facade. She smiled and said, "Bring the water over. Your father is thirsty too." Her hand suddenly shot out and snatched the glass from Jong Seo's hand. She walked away step by step, holding the glass. Jong Seo stood frozen in place. In the art classroom, sunlight filled the easels. The students were creating quietly. The teacher walked around the room, his voice gentle yet serious. "This is part of your grade, so for those who can't finish today, you must complete it before the next class." Suddenly, he stopped, his gaze fixed on the painting in front of him. He praised her sincerely. Wow, Jong Seo, your painting is amazing. You must have inherited your artistic talent. Jong Seo touched the back of her neck, a little embarrassed. She replied modestly, it's not that good, actually. From his side, whispers could be heard, and I want to see it too. It's incredible, like Leonardo DiCaprio. Ah, sorry, I meant Da Vinci. Listening to the praise, Yuri's gaze gradually sharpened. The setting sun dyed the sky red. The day's classes were over. A classmate walked up to Han Taewa's desk. Hey Taewa, he pointed to the door. Your sister is looking for you. Yuri was standing at the door, panting. Taewa looked up, a hint of weariness in his eyes. Outside the school gate, the two walked side by side. Taewa spoke first. What were you doing in my classroom door? Yuri's expression was dead serious. She stopped walking. I need you to paint something for me. Taewa sighed, tiredly, don't bother me with this nonsense. Yuri's voice suddenly rose. I'm serious. Appa, you have to paint it for me. Taewa started to turn away. Yuri's voice grew shriller. The moment Jong Seo is mentioned, you drop everything. Her eyes burned with rage. Whatever mom tells you to do, you just obey like a coward. If you don't help me, I'll shove clams down Jong Seo's throat until she throws up. Even if she's sent to the hospital, I'll keep feeding her until she dies. Taewa stopped dead in his tracks. He slowly turned around. His voice was low and dangerous. What did you just say? Yuri met his gaze without fear. I said, paint my art assignment for me. If I submit this, I'll never win against Jong Seo. So, Appa, you have to paint it for me. Taewa's face twisted with anger. He lunged forward and grabbed Yuri by the collar. A twisted smile appeared on his face. First mom uses me, and now you too. Yuri struggled in his grip, her voice turning into a sob. It's not a big deal. Your real sister is me, not Jong Seo. You could at least do this one thing for me. Taewa roared, shut up. Their argument attracted the attention of passers-by. Whispers arose from the crowd. Among the crowd, Jong Seo watched them, her face full of worry. As the sun set, Taewa sat alone in an empty park. The swing creaked rhythmically, echoing in the quiet evening. A bag of snacks appeared before his eyes. Taewa looked up. Jong Seo was standing in front of him, a warm smile on her face. This is where you were hiding. Taewa watched her quietly. His expression was complicated. The two sat side by side on the swings, holding ice cream. Jong Seo broke the silence. I saw you. You were arguing with Yuri after school. Can I ask what that was about? Taewa lowered his gaze. You saw my room. The younger him held a paintbrush, his hands covered in paint. When mom discovered my artistic talent, she decided to make me her ghost painter. The signature on the painting was Myra's. No matter how good my work was, I could never sign my own name. Everything was for the family that mom talked about. Now Yuri wants to use me too, as if it's a given. Jong Seo's hand gently rested on his shoulder. Her voice was soft. Appa, you must have had a hard time. But now, your family isn't just Mira and Yuri. You have a new sister. A super pretty sister who is completely on your side. So don't be too sad. Taewa looked at her, his cheeks slightly flushed. Your ice cream is melting. Jong Seo looked down. She saw her ice cream dripping onto Taewa's pants. She panicked a little. It's all melted. Watching her flustered, Taewa's lips curved into an unconscious smile. A little sister. In the classroom, students gathered in small groups. A girl with short hair shouted excitedly, hey, the scores for the art project are out. Jong Seo, let's go see. Jong Seo nodded. Okay. The short-haired girl linked arms with her easily. You definitely got a perfect score, right? Jong Seo was a little embarrassed. I worked hard, but still. The bulletin board was crowded with students. Yuri stood at the back of the crowd, a hint of worry on her face. The grade sheet clearly showed Han Jong Seo, 10 points. Han Yuri, 8 points. The short-haired girl hugged Jong Seo happily. See? I told you could do it. Jong Seo breathed a sigh of relief. That's great. Yuri stood to the side, her hands tightly gripping the hem of her skirt. Her whole body trembled with anger. What should I do? Mom is going to kill me. Mira was sitting at her desk. The vibration of a phone broke the silence. Mira looked at the caller ID, her face a mask of annoyance and fear. Her lips turned pale, and cold sweat beaded on her forehead. She took a deep breath and answered the phone, her voice filled with suppressed anger. Mr. Park, you're calling me again? On the other end of the line, a man stood in an art studio. You should have answered sooner. The man was Park Chong-seon, a dealer of forged art. He allowed a cold laugh. You owe us. Don't treat us like we're nobodies. Mira gripped the phone, her teeth grinding. She slammed her hand on the desk. I told you I don't have that much money. How can you raise the price without any warning? A chuckle came from the other end. That's your problem to solve. After all, you're a celebrity. Then she hung up quietly. I can't just rely on Tewa. Time is too tight. This time, I need their team of ghost painters. She clutched her phone tightly. Then she threw it violently. She braced her hands on the desk. Damn it, where am I going to get that much money? Should I ask him? If I tell him about Jong SEO, maybe he'll help. Her pupils suddenly contracted. Wait, he said it back then. Before Jeannie died, she left a huge inheritance for Jong SEO. She frantically rummaged through documents. Then her hand stopped on a file. She hugged the file, a greedy and twisted smile on her face. A few weeks later, Jong SEO sat on her bed, looking at her phone. She scrolled through the screen. That's strange. All my old messages with Appa are gone. Is there something wrong with my phone? I feel like this has happened before. It's not like they were important chats anyway. The phone screen was on Cha Songju's contact page. There's something wrong with my phone? I feel like this has happened before. It's not like they were important chats anyway. Cha Songju held his phone, a hint of disappointment on his face. He looked at the message from Jong SEO. Sorry, but I still can't. To me, you're just an Appa. Appa, are you busy? Do you want to go to Mom's vacation house today? Jong SEO ran towards a black sedan. She got in the car, a smile blooming on her face. Her tone was a little coquettish. I knew you'd come, Appa. Cha Songju sat beside her. You're the only one who would call me out during final exams week without any guilt. Jong SEO smiled brightly. Hey, don't say that. You need to relax once in a while, too. Looking at her smiling face, Cha Songju's cheeks flushed slightly. After she rejected me like that, at least things didn't get awkward between us. The car drove smoothly. He asked curiously, why the sudden trip to your mom's place? You haven't been there in a while. Jong SEO gazed out the window. If I said I wanted to get away for a bit, he would worry. She spoke, I just miss her. Her hand quietly tightened around the necklace on her neck. I still feel bad about leaving Tewa Appa there alone. Cha Songju's gaze fell on her necklace. Did you get your necklace fixed? I was going to ask if you wanted to go to the repair shop together. Jong SEO said happily, this. Tewa Appa fixed it. He's really good at this stuff. Cha Songju's body stiffened, the gentleness gone from his face. Are you close with him? Jong SEO said a little. We're family now. I thought I should make an effort. Cha Songju suddenly leaned closer to her, his voice low and serious. He's your family. You know that, right? Jong SEO was startled. What does that mean? He's too close. She could feel her heart thumping violently against her chest. The car stopped in front of White Villa. Jong SEO opened the car, door excitedly. Wow, it's been a while. Cha Songju asked her, you brought the key, right? Jong SEO took out the key, of course. I left my scarf here last time. I can get it back now. She walked up and tried to turn the lock, but the door wouldn't budge. Why won't the door open? Cha Songju looked at her. What are you doing? He walked over. Give me the key. I'll try. A voice suddenly sounded from behind them. What are you two doing there? The two turned their heads. A man who looked like a security guard approached them. His tone was stern. You can't just go in there. Jong SEO was confused. The security guard came closer. He rubbed his chin and explained, I'm the security guard here. It used to be Mr. Jean, but he quit a few weeks ago, right when the ownership of the house changed. The two stood frozen, the same shock in their eyes. The waves crashed against the breakwater, dyed the color of the setting sun. Cha Songju's voice was as soft as the sea breeze. Your dad really went too far this time. He gazed at Jong SEO, who was hugging her knees and crying, his voice full of heartache. How could he sell this place without saying a word? Jong SEO looked up in, oh, my dad wouldn't. It must have been that woman. Mira sat leisurely at an outdoor cafe. Jong SEO's footsteps approached from a distance. She stopped at the table. Ms. Mira. Mira slowly looked up, a little surprised. I told you not to call me that. Jong SEO stared at her, her gaze unwavering. You did it, didn't you? Her voice began to tremble. You sold my mother's villa? How could you sell it without asking me? But Mira was indifferent, as if listening to a boring chore. She sighed softly. She slammed the book on the table. Her voice was unquestionable. We are not strangers. I am your mother. The silhouette of the villa was sharp against the sunset. Her words were as cold as the evening air. You are still a minor. I am managing your property as your parent. Her face was contorted with anger, as if a storm was raging around her. I asked there anything wrong with that. Jong SEO cried out in despair. You are not my mother. Myra's eyes turned cold. She saw the hatred written all over Jong SEO's face. She laughed to herself. This is better. Now we can stop pretending. A crisp slap landed on Jong SEO's face. Mira shook her hand. She said contemptuously, "You're right. You're not mine. I didn't raise my child to be so rude, but others won't see it that way." Zhang Seo stood frozen, her cheek gradually swelling. Mira grabbed her by the collar. "Oh, you listen to me. I won't let anyone who tarnishes my daughter's name exist. Watch your words and actions. To your father, to everyone. Otherwise, I will take everything from you. Not just that villa." She pushed hard, and Zhang Seo fell to the ground. Mira turned and walked away, the sound of her high heels clicking on the ground, resolute and cold. In the student council room, a stack of documents was slammed onto the table, breaking the silence. Cha Song-ju handed a folder to her. "Here. Your job is to organize these files." Yuri looked bewildered. "Just the two of us?" Cha Song-ju crossed his arms. "The others are handling other tasks. Can't you handle this?" Yuri waved her hands frantically. "No, I can do it." She looked down at the files. "But, Sunbae, Zhang Seo rejected you, right?" Cha Song-ju was taken aback. He was a little annoyed. "How did you know?" Yuri looked at him with a smile. "That I'm pretty close with her. She said you make her feel uncomfortable. She's never seen you as more than an appa." Her gaze, hidden behind the files, was sharp. "I think it's a bit cruel for her to just ignore your feelings like that." Cha Song-ju lowered his eyes. "It's not her fault. I pushed too hard." A blush appeared on his face, and his lips curved into a slight smile. "I'll wait. There's nothing else I can do anyway." Yuri gripped the files in her hand tightly, her knuckles turning white. She returned home, her face filled with suppressed anger. Her school bag was thrown violently to the ground, making a dull thud. "This is so annoying. What's so great about Zhang Seo? Why do my brother and Sunbae think she's everything? She must have a weakness, something dirty that would make everyone stay away from her." She ran to Zhang Seo's room and began to search frantically. Her gaze froze. Her pupils contracted. Her hand reached for a black notebook. "What's this?" She flipped through it. It was a photo album filled with pictures. Her face twisted with jealousy. "These are all pictures of her and Sunbae. They look so happy. It's disgusting." She pulled out a photo. She tore it without hesitation. She looked at the pieces in her hand, a twisted smile on her face. The photos scattered on the floor. The once smiling faces were now torn in two. In an empty classroom, Zhang Seo sat alone. The pen in her hand stopped on the paper. "I don't want to go home. Can that place even be called a home? I never feel at ease there. Maybe I should talk to Dad, but he looks so happy. I haven't seen him that happy since Mom passed away." Zhang Seo rested her head on the desk. "If everyone can stay happy by me enduring it alone, then I'll just endure it myself." The clock ticked. The sky outside gradually darkened. She lifted her head. Her gaze was resolute again. "Time to go home. I can't just sit here and cry. I won't lose. I will win." She walked to the classroom door and looked down the hallway. A group of students surrounded Han Tae-hwa, the atmosphere lively and warm. A girl handed him a gift. "Happy birthday, Tae-hwa Sunbi." He accepted it shyly. Thank you." Zhang Seo walked up. "Wow, you're really popular." Han Tae-hwa turned his head. Zhang Seo's face was bright with a smile. The two walked side by side in the rain. Zhang Seo said, "I knew you had a lot of fans, but I didn't expect this many." Han Tae-hwa looked at her. "I don't have fans." Zhang Seo laughed. "You're so popular. Half the people in my class talk about you. I can't let them outdo me." She pointed to a scarf in a shop window. "Oh, how about that one? A cream-colored scarf with red stripes." She pressed her face against the glass. "Appa, I think it would look great on you." Han Tae-hwa turned his face away. "I don't need a gift." Zhang Seo wrapped the scarf around his neck. "Just take it. It's not really a birthday present." She looked up at him, a mischievous glint in her smile. "It's a bribe to keep you by my side." Han Tae-hwa lowered his head. The memory returned to the dim art studio. He was sitting alone in front of an easel. Suddenly, he heard arguing from downstairs. He went to the window, and the scene before him made him freeze. Zhang Seo was being slapped hard by his mother, his hands clenched into fists. "Ever since I started painting for Mom, I made a promise to myself." He looked down at Zhang Seo, who was adjusting the scarf for him. "When I legally become an adult, I'm leaving that house." His expression was solemn. "I promise. When that day comes, I'll take you with me." A gentle smile spread across Zhang Seo's face. "Thank you, Appa." The rain poured down, washing over the cold villa. Han Tae-hwa pushed the door open to her home. Zhang Seo took off her soaked jacket. "Let's just leave it in the entryway for now." She walked up the stairs, looking around. No one else here? "It's your birthday today." Suddenly, she saw a sneaky-looking Yuri. She couldn't help but feel suspicious. "Yuri, why are you coming out of my room?" Yuri jumped, her cheeks flushing red. "I wasn't." She turned to run. Han Tae-hwa reached out and stopped her. Don't play games with me. His eyes were sharp. What are you hiding in your hand? Yuri stammered, nothing. Why are you like this too? She clutched the object in her hand tightly. Leave me alone. Get out of my way. Zhang Seo grabbed her wrist. What is this? Why do you have her picture? Zhang Seo's expression changed from shock to anger. Did you tear this? Yuri's eyes darted away. It's not what you think. Han Taewa's gaze was cold and sharp, as if looking at a stranger. Yuri gritted her teeth. Why is he looking at me like that? Zhang Seo's voice trembled. Say something, you little thief. Yuri's face flushed with anger. Why is everyone on Han Zhang Seo's side? She shoved Han Zhang Seo hard. Zhang Seo lost her balance, her body falling backward downstairs. Her eyes were filled with nothing but terror. A dull thud was heard. Han Tae-hwa let out a guttural cry. He rushed down the stairs. Zhang Seo, hang in there. He turned back and roared at Yuri. What are you standing there for? Call an ambulance. Yuri trembled all over. Oh, much blood. She's not going to die, is she? Han Zhang Seo lay motionless in a pool of blood. If she dies, then I'm a murderer. Han Tae-hwa's voice was filled with desperation. What are you doing? Call someone. Mira stood at the door. Why is it so noisy in here? I could hear it from outside. Her eyes widened in shock. The scene before her made her freeze. Zhang Seo was on the floor, Tae-hwa was holding her, and Yuri was standing at the top of the stairs. Tae-hwa pointed at Yuri. She pushed Zhang Seo. Yuri shook her head frantically. That I didn't mean to. She suddenly grabbed my hand, and then She rushed down the stairs. Mom, I don't want to go to jail. She hugged Mira tightly. Save me, help me. I'm so scared, Mom. Mira said, I told you to behave yourself. Tae-hwa shouted anxiously. That doesn't matter. We need to call an ambulance first. Mira looked at him calmly. A thought formed in her mind that if I take everything that was originally Jean He's and drive out her daughter too, this time I will win completely. She spoke, this is my chance. Tae-hwa's body stiffened when he heard his mother's voice. Myra's voice was cold. Are you really going to turn your own sister into a criminal for Zhang Seo? She's caused enough trouble already. She gently patted Yuri's back. A tea might be better for her to live somewhere else. Yuri looked up with teary eyes. Somewhere else? Like where? Mira gently wiped away her tears. I don't know. Anywhere. I'll arrange a place for her. Zhang Seo lay quietly, her breathing growing weaker. Tae-hwa watched all of this. This is absurd. He finally exploded. What did Zhang Seo do wrong? Why should she be the one to leave? You just don't like her, so you want her to disappear. Mira walked towards him. That's not it. Her voice had a hint of feigned concern that I'm doing this for her own good too. She smiled coldly. If even I can't stand her, how could she possibly be happy here? Some families are better off living apart. Tae-hwa's expression twisted in shock. Mira rummaged through her bag. If you're so worried about her, then you can go with her. She took out a phone that I'll give you enough living expenses. I still need your paintings anyway, so we'll keep in touch. You can't even afford her medical bills on your own. If she stays at a clinic, just tell Yuri. I'll handle the rest. Tae-hwa's resolve wavered. Mira poked his chest with the phone. What are you standing there for? Her condition is getting worse. Didn't you always want to leave me? The sky was clear, the sun glaring. Whispers spread across the school campus. A few students gathered together. Did you hear? You mean about Zhang Seo and Tae-hwa Sunbi? I heard they eloped together. That's disgusting. They're siblings. They supposedly left a note saying not to look for them because they're in love. Is this a TV drama? Yuri's face flushed red. Don't say that, she roared, crying. They didn't do anything to you, so mind your own business. She pushed through the crowd. Everyone move. The students watch her back. What's wrong with her? She wasn't even that close to Han Zhang Seo. Does she really think she's the only one who can gossip? Congratulations, we have a moral guardian. Cha Song-ju stood in the back, his head down in silence. The student council room door was quietly closed. Yuri sat on the sofa, sobbing. A figure sat down beside her. Yuri covered her face with her hands. When I got home, Tae-hwa Appa and Zhang Seo had already left with their luggage. Mira instructed Yuri word by word. Write the letter. Just write that they knew they wouldn't be accepted by the world, so they chose to disappear. The father read the letter, his body trembling violently with shock. Yuri watched him from the crack in the door, a triumphant expression on her face. He continued to cry that he couldn't do anything, like an accomplice. If only I had been closer to Zhang Seo. If only I had really listened to her. Cha Song-ju looked at him. It's not your fault. He grabbed his hair in anguish. Why? Yuri stood up and pulled his head into her embrace. Her voice was soft. It's okay. It's not your fault either. So at least in front of me, you don't have to pretend to be strong. The corner of her mouth curved into a barely perceptible smile. Everything was going according to plan. The night was dark. The lights inside the house were bright. Cha Song-ju was sitting at his desk. The door opened softly. His mother walked in. I heard from Jong Seo's father that she had an accident. Is that right? Her hand rested gently on Song-ju's shoulder. Are you okay? You really care about her. Song-ju put down his pen. He turned his head to look at his mother. He said firmly, Mom, I'm going abroad. Right away. Night enveloped the hospital. Han Tae-hwa stood in the shadows of the hallway. He held the phone. We've arrived safely with Jong Seo. She hasn't woken up yet. The doctor says there's no clear prognosis. He pleaded into the receiver. Can't she be treated in Seoul? Until she wakes up. The equipment here is too old. An angry tirade came from the other end of the line. A bitter look appeared on his face that in exchange, you're not allowed near Jong Seo again. I'll continue to submit my works. I'll do as you say. He hung up the phone. He gently pushed open a door. The hinges made a faint creak. His pupils dilated instantly. Jong Seo was slowly sitting up. Her forehead was wrapped in a bandage. Her hands were unconsciously gripping the bed rail. He rushed to the bedside. That you're awake. His voice was filled with unconcealable excitement. You were in a coma for 3 whole days. His smile was immediately replaced by concern. Does your head still hurt? I'll go get the doctor. But Jong Seo's eyes were blank. That you excuse me. She looked him over. May I ask who you are? Time seemed to freeze. The color drained from Tae-hwa's face in an instant. 1 week later, Jong Seo's clear voice rang out. Great, I'm finally discharged. She took a deep breath of fresh air and exclaimed sincerely, it feels so good to be outside. I almost thought I'd go stir crazy in there. Why wouldn't the doctor let me leave? There was a hint of helplessness in Tae-hwa's tone, of course. You only woke up after being in a coma for 3 days. Jong Seo looked around the warm living room. So, is this our home? Tae-hwa watched her quietly. You don't remember at all? When you were little, your parents died in a fire. My parents adopted you. He sat on the sofa, and just a short while ago, you were in the car with them. His fingers fidgeted nervously. The car overturned. They didn't make it back. You really can't remember anything. Jong Seo lowered her head. Her voice was soft. No, I'm sorry. She suddenly hugged Tae-hwa from behind. That I was so scared. When I first opened my eyes in the hospital, I didn't know where I was or who I was. Everything was terrifying. Tae-hwa looked down at Jong Seo on the hospital bed. You don't remember anything? Jong Seo looked blank. Her eyes were filled with utter unfamiliarity and panic. Who am I? Tae-hwa looked directly into her eyes. Your name is Jong Seo, and I am Han Tae-hwa. He held her hands, as if trying to transfer his strength to her. We are all each other has. When you said you were all I had, only one voice remained in my mind. I don't know who you are, but I know I could trust you. Big brother, I'm so glad you're here. Just like you've always been by my side, I'll watch over you from now on, too. Even though we're not related by blood, we're like real brother and sister. Right, big brother? Tae-hwa's cheeks instantly flushed red. He suddenly pointed a finger at her cheek. That we are not brother and sister. Jong Seo smiled mischievously. Oh, but you're still my big brother. Tae-hwa stood up. I didn't go to all this trouble just to be her brother. His voice carried a hint of imperceptible tension. So, in your eyes, am I a real brother or just a man? Jong Seo's cheeks flushed slightly, her fingertips fidgeting nervously. Tae-hwa let out a soft laugh. I'm just teasing you. He walked towards the door. Then I'm going to buy some groceries and daily necessities. Wait here for a bit. Jong Seo nodded. Okay, see you later. Tae-hwa handed over a beautiful box. This is for you. Jong Seo asked, what is it? He scratched the back of his neck, his cheeks starting to feel hot again. That it's a gift for you. Waves crashed against the shore, splashing up white foam. Jong Seo stood there. That I think I succeeded. I can't believe it. I don't know what he said to my dad, but regardless, I finally succeeded. I'll stay out of her sight for now, until I can completely crush her. She took my mother's villa, stole my only family, my father, and he hit me for her. I will make her pay for everything. The phone vibrated in her palm. She looked at the name on the screen. If I expose the fact that Mira is using Tae-hwa as a ghost painter, it would be great revenge. But Tae-hwa would be ruined too. She answered the phone, her voice calm. Hello, big brother. Tae-hwa's voice came from the other end. Where are you? She said, I just came out for a walk to get some air. Tae-hwa's tone was full of worry. Are you alone? Where on earth are you? Jong Seo said, I'm just nearby. I'll be back soon. Don't worry. Her finger pressed the switch on the carousel. With a click, music mixed with static noise began to play. Tae-hwa's voice came through. I still want to know the answer. Jong Seo was taken aback. What answer? I can't hear you. Taewa slammed his hand on the table. He finally asked out loud, to you, am I like a brother? Or am I something more than that? Jong Seo looked up abruptly. Gosh, you scared me to death, big brother. You're at it again. Taewa just stood there, gazing at her gently. The air between them froze. Several years later, airport lobby, Cha Song-ju walked over, pulling a suitcase. A person holding a name sign high up called out, Mr. Cha, over here. He handed over a phone. The chairman asked you to contact him as soon as you arrived. Cha Song-ju took the phone. That I'll see him when I get home anyway. He's always in such a hurry. A clear female voice rang out, Song-ju Appa. His body stiffened as Yuri tightly hugged his arm. Congratulations on finishing your studies. She looked up at him. I've waited for you for so long. Cha Song-ju gave a polite smile. Thank you. In front of the towering company building, Mr. Kim's voice was full of joy. Congratulations on your appointment as a director. Cha Song-ju smiled awkwardly. Isn't this a bit much for someone who just parachuted in? Mr. Kim excitedly argued at his side. What do you mean parachuted in? Your talents are already well known overseas. Cha Song-ju cut him off wearily. Yes, I heard. Thanks to Mr. Kim's help while I was abroad, I'm very grateful. Mr. Kim repeatedly waved his hands. Tea was my honor. Cha Song-ju's expression darkened. He clasped his hands together. But is there still no news of Jong Seo? Mr. Kim's expression was grave. Yes, sir. I've looked everywhere, but there's not a single trace. It's as if she vanished from the face of the earth. I'm very sorry. I will continue to search. Cha Song-ju composed himself. It's okay. It's not your fault. What's on the schedule for today? Mr. Kim opened his notebook. In the morning, you'll greet the shareholders. Then a meeting with the company staff. In the evening, you'll meet with Ms. Mira to discuss her solo exhibition. Cha Song-ju rested his chin on his hand. What a hassle. In a restaurant, a woman waved enthusiastically. Oh, Mr. Cha, over here. Cha Song-ju walked forward and bowed slightly. Ms. Mira, it's an honor to meet you. I am the managing director of Global Entertainment. Mira laughed. Oh, don't be so formal. Just think of me as Yuri's mother. Speaking of which, you and Yuri have been close since high school. I still remember the day you left for abroad. She cried her eyes out at the airport. Yuri's cheeks flushed. She pulled on her mother's arm. Please don't bring that up again. It's too embarrassing. Mira pinched Yuri's cheek. But thanks to that, you caught Mr. Cha's attention and were scouted by Global Entertainment. And because of that, I also signed an exclusive contract with you. You're truly our lucky star. Yuri protested in a small voice. Mom, that's enough. Cha Song-ju adjusted his tie. I heard today's meeting was to discuss your solo exhibition. He put on a professional smile. If this is just a friendly get-together, please excuse me. I still have a lot of work to do. His mother said, what's with that tone? We might become family in the future. I've already discussed it with Ms. Mira. Luckily, Yuri also said she has feelings for you. You didn't really date much in America, did you? If there are no obstacles, you two should get married. Cha Song-ju's hands clenched unconsciously. What do you mean, no obstacles? Ms. Mira and Yuri, they're Jong Seo's family. You know how I feel about Jong Seo. Do I need to marry into that family? His mother said, how long are you going to wait for a girl who ran off with another man? Cha Song-ju's hand pressed on the table. Her choice is her choice. But just because she left doesn't mean I have to stop caring. This topic ends here. He turned and left without looking back. His mother turned to Mira. I'm sorry. He seems to have grown up, but he's still very immature in many ways. Myra's smile gradually twisted. Jong Seo deeply hurt our family. But thanks to Yuri, my husband and I were able to heal. Yuri will be good to Song-ju too. Right, Yuri? Yuri replied stiffly, yes, of course. Cha Song-ju sat alone in his office. A knock came from the door. Come in. The door opened slowly. What are you doing here? Yuri walked in. She had a slightly hurt smile on her face. You treat me like I'm insignificant and then go work overtime as if nothing happened. She suddenly staggered and leaned forward. He caught her. Hey, that's dangerous. Yuri leaned into his arms. Why are you helping me? You don't even like me. Cha Song-ju supported her. You're really drunk. You should go home. I'll call a designated driver. Yuri looked up. Are you still that obsessed with Han Jong Seo? She staggered towards a sofa she came by a few years ago and left a letter. Cha Song-ju froze. What? Where? Yuri's voice was tearful. She said she was sorry. Really sorry to my family and to you. But she couldn't leave Taewa Appa because he was too important to her. After hearing that, do you still like her? If you come to me, I'll be 1,000 times better to you than she ever was. In a coffee shop, Jong Seo handed over a coffee, your iced Americano. The phone screen lit up. A message from Taewha. What are you doing today? I'll come pick you up. A colleague leaned over to look at, oh, is it your boyfriend? Jong Seo waved her hands in a fluster, and oh, it's not like that. Her colleague asked with a smile, what does he do? Does he work in an office? A warm smile appeared on Jong Seo's face. He's a painter. One day, his paintings will hang in a much bigger gallery. Her colleague teased, then I'd better get an autograph first. Maybe he'll be the next Mira. I heard Mira is finally holding a solo exhibition after many years. She's amazing to maintain that passion and skill for so long. Jong Seo nodded lightly. Yes, she said, her face showing an indescribably complex emotion.